So today we're going to be factoring when your leading coefficient is not 1 this time. So unlike the last time we had a 1 there, now we're going to have a number. So we're going to follow these 6 rules, and I'm going to show you what they look like with the first example right here. The first one says to multiply your A and your C. So the 4 and the negative 3 is step 1. That's negative 12. Now we're going to find factors of that number that are going to add to get my middle number. So I need factors of negative 12 to get negative. So that should be negative 6 and a positive 2. Now, step 3 tells us we're going to replace. You need to replace that middle term with the 2 new terms that we have. So the 4x squared stays at the first term, and then negative 3 is going to stay. I'm changing this middle term with these 2. So now it's a negative 6y and a positive 2y. And we're going to finish factoring this by grouping. And these should be y's here. So you take out your GCF here. So what's common between those two will be a 2x, and actually divide the 4 by 2 and the 6 by 2. Why do I keep making these? Sorry, these are really y's. There's nothing common between the two of these, so that's just going to be a 1 on the outside. Step 5 tells you that your parentheses should match. So we check. Yes, they're the same thing. The way we write our answer then is that parentheses is going to be written 1 time, and then what was in front of them, the 2y and the positive 1, that's going to go in the second parenthesis over here. So let's try number 2. We're going to go through the steps again. Multiply your A and your C. So 4 times 9, that's step 1, 36. Step 2, find factors of 36 that will add to get to negative 12. So negative 6 and negative 6. Step 3, the replacing term. So here's my first term and the 9. So I'm replacing this term with a negative 6z and a negative 6z. And then we'll finish up by grouping here. So then what I said here is what goes into the 4 and the 6, and that was the 2. So I divided each term, the 4 by the 2 and the 6 by the 2. Now if your third term is negative like this is right here, then you should always be pulling out a negative sign. And there should be a -3 here. So now my parentheses match. So I'm going to write that 1 time, 2z minus 3. And then what is in front of them goes my second parenthesis. It just happens that this time parentheses are the same. If you wanted, you could write this as 2z minus 3 squared. All right, so here's another practice. So multiply the 5 and the negative 14. That gives me 70. Factors of 70 to get 17 would be 7 and 10. So again, you leave your first term and your last term alone. My middle term is going to be using the 7 and 10. So plus 7x and a 10x. And group them. This time I'm just going to be pulling out an x in the first term. I'm going to be pulling out a 2 from the second term. When I divide each term by x here, I'm left with a 5x and a 7. Divide each of those by a 2. So then my answer is the parentheses that match, you write 1 time. And then what we divided out, that is your second parenthesis, x plus 2. The only thing that's going to be different with step 4, or number 4, is that it's equal to 0, so we're going to have to set the final answer equal to 0. So multiply factors. Let's write the 7x with a 6x and a 1x. And now I'm going to group them.